Hello, hello, welcome back to the Let's Play That Never Dies, Final Fantasy XI. So, today we're going to see if we can start the Rune Fencer Empyrean armor quest, and we gotta talk to this guy, Avernost, and he's actually wearing the Rune Fencer Empyrean body. Although, again, Empyrean is kind of a misnomer because it's not from Abyssia, so it's not really the same thing. But hopefully, since we've gotten a couple pieces of rune armor for the relic armor, we can go ahead and start. Hopefully we don't need all 5 pieces, but I guess we're about to find out. These flowers are nearly as fair as my own face. Ah, but you must be Calm Wind. Word of your exploits has reached me here. And if you are half the man they say you are, then I have need of your aid. Flee like the wind or accept this task. Excellent. I admit to being slightly surprised that you would agree without knowing the exact content, but not overly so. You see, Chuchu is proceeding with a highly classified project, one that requires a discreet hand. Rune Fencer equipment has remained largely unchanged over the centuries. They remain based in the musings of Svertride and the historical records kept in Selenium Memorial Library, with artisans faithfully reproducing the pieces in both form and function. Behind the scenes, however, Chuchu has been working on some modifications that would change the way we approach our craft. One member of our ranks is in the final phases of testing the piece's durability as we speak, and all that remains is to collect a new material from the depths of Rakaznar. Or so we had hoped. Chuchu lost all contact with the team she sent together the requisite goods. So we have been on the lookout for someone of your caliber who can probe deep into the labyrinth and find out exactly what happened. I would go myself, but I am suffering from a strained elbow joint. And further, I have accumulated enough glory that I figure I should share the limelight with those less fortunate. So will you undertake this task as a fellow Rune Fencer at arms? Of course. I knew the talk about you was more than idle gossip. Forgive me for sounding like a broken orchestrion, but I would ask that you check on the Coalition staff currently dispatched to Outer Rakaznar. So have at it! Okay, so apparently now we've got to go to Rakaznar M6 again. I guess we're going to talk to Mika Lulu again. Kind of annoying. But, whatever. Okay, I don't have anything else to say. I'll wait on her next message then. She'll probably bump me on Discord if I don't talk to her long enough. But, whatever. Let's see. So we gotta go to the enigmatic device again. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Let me guess, Chuchu sent you to check up on me. Check up on me. Nope. No, she didn't. Then forget how I said anything. Either way, it's good to see you, Calmwind. I know you're here, so let's Kataru to the chase. You're wondering why that refined Rakaznar fibers haven't made it to the Coalition Wishin. I've done a bit of testaroing of my own and discovered a curious problem. Equipment constructed Taru with refined Rakaznar fibers slowly wears over time, turning from state-of-the-art protection into worthless hunks of metal. What's more, we can't mass-produce them, yet it wouldn't be to throw them to the wayside. So we're stuck without a satisfactory resolution. My hypothesis was that infusing refined Rakaznar fibers with elemental energies would suffice, and so I gathered crystals of each of the Elementaros and combined them one by one. But it was no good. At first, Taru, things seemed to be going swimmingly, but then I added crystals that were the polar opposite of the ones I put in first. The entire thing collapsed upon itself. I'll need to tackle it from a different Taru angle to be sure, but I've racked my brains without getting any closer to a solution. I seem to recall Octavernost saying that he might have a lead weed to go on, But when push comes to shove, the boy's nothing more than a pretty witty face. Still, I'll give you a refined Rocasnar fiber to take back, if for no other reason than to prove that you actually did find me. And don't worry, I'll head back to the Inventors Coalition once I've procured a bit more Bitaru more. Don't run off getting yourself killed, Wild, in the meantime. I'm a little bit like, if that is really like the actual Mikalulu and it's not just like a Rocasnar entity piloting her corpse and pretending to be her, I'm a little bit sad that they like emotionally undercut that quest line. But at the same time, I guess if it is really her and she's wearing that same armor, it's confirmation that Zerko Berserko really is wearing the last armor she made. Even though that much was pretty obvious from just reading the air. Uh-huh. Alright, let's go. Well, actually, hold on. Got Grape Daifuku, that might be all that we need. Trying to see if there's any other food we might take that's better for what we want to do. I don't think so, though. I think the Moogle House is the closest. Let's see. Yeah, he's going to be right on that corner like a little hooker, so... Okay. What happened? Mikalulu was holed up in Outer Rocasnar, pining for me to make a revolutionary breakthrough? What would it not do to keep such a lovely mademoiselle waiting, would it? And she wants me to infuse refined Rocasnar fibers with each of the 8 elements? If I were a betting man, I would wager that Middleland's devices used to manufacture weapons hold the key to our success. My grandfather often mentioned such contraptions, so I asked a trusted contact within the Inventors Coalition to craft special cores that can draw forth the power of the elements. I refer to them as iridal cores. The craftsman may have done the legwork, but I can safely take all the credit for the planning and design. Setting these cores in one of those strange apparatuses will surely enable us to create a blade bathed in the aforementioned energies. It may be a tad volatile at first, but calming it down will release the elemental forces, at which point we bind it with the refined Rocasnar fibers to harness the full potential. Simple, effective, and quite likely thorough. Of course, this would be a mere trifle for one of my ability. There is but one hitch. I am currently swamped with other forms of revolutionary research and could not possibly spare the time to go myself. And even if I could, I have never been to the Middlelands, and it might take me months, years, to find my way there. Don't worry, I'll handle it. If you will, then let's get started. There are several cores to choose from, so pick the one that you feel would be the most appropriate. And apparently these have different levels, and the blank spot is 135. Have you lost your mind? There's a reason I didn't offer it to you. The device this core is attuned to is in Rangomont Pass. Though I am more than sure it is broken, I refuse to be held responsible for what happens to you if you go there. This one is a bit special and will need only respond to a lone Rune Fencer. As you are well aware, not everyone can join our order, so our data on this specimen is quite sparse. It would be wholly irresponsible of me to entrust it to you. Of course, I would be willing to part with it should you claim to be the strongest Rune Fencer ever known to man. The battle is intended for a lone Rune Fencer, and its content level is 135. Only the fittest of Rune Fencers can emerge victorious. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. Let us hope that your nerves of steel are not foolhardiness in disguise. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so we're gonna have to fight a really hard animated weapon that apparently if we buff at all with like Shell or Protect or anything, it'll rage. And we can't use trusts, so it's going to be kind of cool. I kind of have a plan for fighting it, though. We've got Vile Elixirs, so that'll be our healing. We're just going to go on Dark Knight sub, because its physical stuff is nothing to write home about. And basically, we'll just boost TP really quickly with either an Icarus Wings or Precious Boots at the very start of the fight. We'll pop our 2-hour, and then we'll use an Icarus Wing and self-skill chain, and just, you know, kill it. Like, it won't, I don't think it will be hard. I could be wrong. I could be going to my doom right now. But we've got, like, the reward from this is 109, and, I don't know. I heard it can be hard. I heard a lot of people complain that they can't do it. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that bad. Let's see. We might actually grab some Meva food, though, or something, to try to, help resist its... magic. And we could make this ourselves, but I don't have the time for that right now, or I don't really feel like it right now. Like, the only buffs that, like, apparently it's a popped fight, and the only buffs, though, that will carry after you pop it is, food and valiance, so it's gonna be a thing. But I think we will be okay. Like, I don't think it's gonna be that problematic, because people have already kind of done the fight before and figured it out. And more or less, when you spawn it, it starts by casting really high level magic of the day. And it's Thunder's Day right now. So what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to use 3 Tellus runes for Earth, and then Valiance, and we pop it. And then we just go ahead and use Precious Boots. And then 2-hour all our buffs, you know, slip into our weapon skill set, and we'll use Fimbulvetter. Assuming Fimbulvetter doesn't miss, you know, we'll use an Icarus Wing, or whether it misses or not, we'll use an Icarus Wing and go again. And do I have sneaky stuff? I need sneaky stuff. I might have to go to Bastak really quick, or buy shit from the auction. I'm just gonna buy shit from the auction. I can't. The amount of time it takes for inventory to load still drives me insane. I'm also a little worried my wife is going to be calling soon. It's almost 5. I really am not liking her being on days. She's liking being on days. I am not liking her being on days. It's way too much to pay for those, but I am in a hurry. I don't feel like going to a Curio Moogle. Let's see, we want, Rangamont Pass. These are the same strange devices that we went to for the earlier quest. You know, these are the optional strange devices that you went to before if you decided to see all of the dialogue. I don't know if that will have helped us in any way for this, but we'll find out. We've got to go all the way up to the top corner there. And more or less our attempts here, the idea is we'll use Fimbulvetter twice in quick succession with the Precious Boots and the Icarus Wing. And then we will make love in the club and burst it with Earth Lunge. And honestly, I think that will probably kill it. I could be wrong. I might be going to my death right now, like I said, because I don't have any Master Levels or JP. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't feel like it's gonna be that hard. Like 135, that's the level of monsters in Limbus currently, and they hit pretty hard. But like, I can beat them one-on-one, so it's not that big of a deal for my gear level. I guess if I were like a lot lower in gear level, like if I didn't have RP Nyame and stuff like that, I'd be worried and I would use the lower difficulty setting. But yeah, I'm not too concerned. And I'm subbing Dark Knight because since we can't use any traditional buffs, I'm pretty sure we can still make use of Arcane Circle. I could be wrong. That might get me killed. The thing about this fight is that if you use any buffs that are defensive, supposedly, like Protect Shell, Phalanx, or anything, the monster instantly casts Dispelga with a +1 to Dispel, so it dispels 2 effects at once, and then it doubles the power of its nukes and causes them to ignore magic damage taken reduction. So, like, the intent is for you as a Rune Fencer is to kill it quickly, is to basically be a good damage dealer, like to take the damage dealing portion of Rune Fencer and do that well. Because a lot of the way players play tank in this game is a very old MMO mindset where like tanks aren't supposed to do damage at all, so you don't have to even take your weapon out. And that always, like, I have said it before, but that drives me insane. I honestly hate when people are like that, when they're just like, oh yeah, no, I don't need to, you know. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Let's put on the Alabaster Earring. We're just shoring up our DT in case the first nuke is just like way stronger than I think it's gonna be. And we're not going to use like last resort or anything because it says all buffs except for food and rune enchantments gets wiped on popping the mob. So like we're also just doing food and rune stuff. So plus we can use all of our job abilities and our Precious Boots while our 2 hours rolling. So I think we'll be okay. The Irido core pass pulses with vibrant energy. Any temporary items you possess will be destroyed, beneficial effects will be removed, and TP will be reset. You may not have enough room in your inventory to receive all the spoils of victory. Victory may yield up to 11 items. Do nothing. How much space do we have? We have 3 spaces. Oh my fucking god. Okay. I don't want to have to like refight this, so let's put the food away. Let's see, 6. Put the dagger away. The nagling away. Put the shining one away. Put the bard instruments away. Okay, we've got 12 spaces now. I think we'll be okay now. The voice of a young woman rings in your head. All messages heard. Okay, so the wiki wasn't quite right about this. You're doing it now. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, our runes got dispelled too. Okay, whatever. Batuta. Okay. And we're gonna Last Resort. Soul Eater. Not Soul Eater, Arcane Circle. We're going to use our Precious Boots. Oh, look at that. We don't even need the Icarus Wing. Okay. There you go. The refined Ricasnar fiber transforms into an Arcus fiber. Codex of Etching. Square of Galatea. That's a lot of stuff. This turns into stuff for reforging, I believe. Okay, so either way, we go back to Octurnvenist, and then we go to M2Choose Laboratory. And then we have to wait a game day. God damn it. But yeah, see, even without any JP, or real amount of JP, like, our gear level is so high, because, like, you know, we're doing this way later than we're intended to do, that, like, you know, we don't even have to care. And I guess the way I would have handled it, if I were on a lower gear level and I was wanting to do this one still, and if I, like, say I didn't have the Prime Greatsword, I'd probably have waited till a different elemental day so that I could have started with double Demediation to make a light. So, like, start on, say, like, let's say, Water's Day, so that it's going to start Water Magic, and I'd be using Thunder Rinse then, and then I could have done, you know, Demediation, Lunge with Lightning. It would have been super easy, so. But as it stands, we outgeared it by such a severe degree that it was kind of like, you know, just whatever. And apparently, if you do the lower difficulty fights, you can redo any of the fights once per conquest tally. So there's a title associated that we're gonna get from. Oh yeah, we already got it. Sword Saint. For doing the highest difficulty. It's kind of funny that Rune Fencer gets that title. That's usually something that goes to, like, Japanese swordsmen. You'd expect it out of, like, a samurai quest line. I wonder why he, like, disappears when we talk to him. Amazing, look at it sparkle. Hurry, take it to M2Choose Laboratory at once. This iridescent fiber contains vital essences of each of the 8 elements. Yeah, I wonder if it tried to dispel us at all once we did. Yeah, we absorbed the holy. I don't know. I guess because we had our 2-hour on is why we absorbed it, because I think that we have like 1 JP and it's in the 2-hour. I think. I got like 20 job points actually on Rune Fencer from, like, dicking around on it with the Prime. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Intriguing. Improving upon strands of Ricasnar filament to create weight refined Ricasnar fibers. An impressive Fitaro in and of itself. Take pride in what you've done, Mikalulu. M2Q, I was sure that I could have. I mean, theoretically, it should have been complete. If only I had more time, Wime. Oh, what brings you here? Calm wind, could that be... Hang on a sec, it's fully complete, Taru. You did it! You found a method for infusing it with the elements? It's thanks to the Riddle cores. You mean the theories that I designed and planned based on discussions between Octavianost and I were finally given form? But who could have done such a thing? Octavianost? Him? I'm just glad to know that all my research wasn't for Nataru. Splendid, you two did magnificently, Taru-lee. Octavianost sure knows how to pull through when needed weeded. Now, if only he could rein in that attitude of his. I'll head back to Rakastar. My research into protectaruing Rune Fencers must continue. Choo-choo, the Zerk has brought back his report to you on number 11. Erg. Salutations, Zerko. We've got the material, we've got the data, now it's my turn. See ya. Hey Zerko, I'd like to give you the first Sataru of armor we create, since it's completed, of course. And I'll have something to discuss with you then. Choo-choo. Let calm wind be the first one to try Wyatt on. But what about you, decked out in that heavy monstrosity like you are? Humph, you may fancy it a prison, but there's no better way to contain the blinding light of my soul and the unbridled power that courses through my veins. And further, I have a divine mission to carry out in Mara. Anastasi is such a warrior Anastasi, or how do you say that? Such a warrior wart, so I've got to sidle Whittle back to Mara before he notices. Right when I thought he'd finally matured, he's back to his old bluster and bravado. But I've got more important things to worry about. And the name of this revolutionary new armor will be Erelaz, and I shall present you with the first set as Zerko Rakastarud. I'll deliver it to Octavianost, but hold on a little while before bothering him. And so now we have a game day wait. Huzzah! The most awesome of gameplay things. Let's go to the waterfront and get our runic pants while we can. The sound of leather being torn and sewn together floats to your ears from somewhere in the distance. Woo! Wait till Choo-choo gets a word of this. Our favorite Rune Fencer will be happy to see that. Yes, then are you crying? Shataru, you're trapped. They'll be hell to pay if you don't get these in fighting form. Chop chop. Tee-hee. Futhark trousers. Here you go, your new Futhark trousers. And since I was in such a good mood toward the end, I waved some arcane glyptics to sweeten the deal. A square of holy leather from which I sewed them acts to buttress the varied magics that aid your companion when. Never before has such a thing been attempted, making my accomplishmentaru all the more savory. Take it now. If I hold on to this piece of perfection any longer, my heart will meltaru, and I'll never be able to give it up. Bada bing, bada boom, Futhark trousers. And they have that sweet enhancing magic duration. And when we upgrade them further, we'll be able to ride on cowboy. Let's see. So now we just pop back on a Geomancer and see if that old fat woman's done with our final pace of Geomancer. Then we can start the Geomancer relic armor, and maybe we can also do the Geomancer Empyrean equivalent quest. Because why not? I like that we got the title Sword Saint, though. That's pretty cool. Also, apparently, the wiki says if you have an Ergon weapon already for Rune Fencer, then all of your Empyrean armor requirements get cut in half for what you need. So that's kind of cool. You know, crafting-wise, crafting item-wise. Now we wait for inventory to load. Fantastic. Let's switch to Geo. I heard the Geomancer fight's also kind of a pain, but I don't know. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. At the Futhark, there we go. I have to look into it. Let's see. You want clubs. And it could come in handy if we use a staff, but I don't know if we're gonna. I do not know exactly what this is gonna all entail. I assume it's gonna be similar, and like it wipes your buffs, and you gotta like do something weird with your geomancy or something really quickly. Probably involves being able to nuke really well. That's what I imagine anyway. We do. Oh, I didn't even have my freaking Rune Fencer cape. I didn't have my weapon skill cape. We might have one-shot the Arcus Mantle if I'd had that. Whoops. Oh well. Oh, I didn't have a couple of my things that I was supposed to have. Whoops. Oh, whatever. Dog, would you stop licking yourself? My dog is like right behind me in his dog bed, and he's just licking away at his paws. And the sound is driving me nuts because I don't. Thank you, dog. I don't deal with sounds like that very well. Which might make you wonder why I have a dog, but you know, I did not know before I loved dogs that I would be hating a lot of the sounds they'd be making. course, it's not like so bad if he just like looks himself a time or two. It's when he's just like going absolutely ham. And it's like the same thing with people chewing, actually. I can't stand the sound of another person chewing, especially if they're like chewing in a very decisive manner, like really forcefully and quick on purpose or something. Like my wife does a lot. Like when she's like really happy to be eating popcorn or something, she munches. She like takes a whole handful and then like just like chews it really fast and like a lot before swallowing, and it's infuriating. Like I can barely stand to be in the same room. Excuse me. Yeah, shut up about the cotton lady. I'm so tired of your freaking face. You making me wait 2 game days for Geomancer AF. Freaking stupid ass, dumbass bitch. Oh hey, they have movement speed on them. How about that? That's nice, at least. Here we go again. If the NPC would load. Holy Burn Books, your outfit. So you do indeed walk the path of the Geomancer Calm Wind. You don't get to where I am by not knowing how to spot someone whose tune is in the overarching energies of the land. I also know how to pass the time. Boy, you don't want to know how much of it I had. As I was rummaging through the musty tomes on these shelves, I came across a miniature tapestry of poems that was ordinary by every definition, at least upon first glance. However, fatefully turning it on its side to read proved to be a key in uncovering its true meaning. That meaning has an extensive amount to do with Geomancer's vestments, one would assume. What precisely was the profound message contained within its crumbling confines, you ask? That's the thing. I may have an eye for people like you, but no grasp on the tenets or academics of your profession. That's why I was going to hand it over to an expert, but I don't want to disappoint my superior by leaving my post. As you can imagine, I was rather conflicted. Now that you're here, though, I can foist it off on you. Like I said, I don't know much about live streaming or what have you. I do know, however, that someone in the Order of Rune should. Well, it's time I finally got back to doing what I came here to do. To the bookshelves. Oh, and good luck. Tapestry of Bagua Poetry. Okay. Short, rhyming verses about Ulbuka's natural scenery are described on this miniature tapestry. Turning it over on its side reveals some strange writing whose mysteries are begging to be solved. Okay. So let's see. Go to Nelia Uvalep. The same person we go to for all Geomancer nonsense. Dog, please. Now my other dog's looking. Ugh. Cut it out, you. Well, and suddenly my sortie group is talking nonstop. I love them, but sometimes they just talk in Discord forever and ever. Okay. Is that? It is. Calm wind. I cannot thank you all for enough for what you've done for our Order of Rune. What business have you today? You say I should turn it on its side and read it that way? Let me see. Oh my, icky icky, you certainly must come see this. Calmland, what kind of deal did you come up with this? Selenium Memorial Library, let me have a look. The Higher Power Change Spirit Garb. Amazing! Could this possibly be handcrafted cloth dating back to the time of C. Rene? It depicts traditional garb worn by those who have bonded their spirit with the higher power. Replicating it requires the finest ancient material Ubuka has to offer, but where on the Earth continent can we acquire it given how far colonization has progressed? And it requires that the wearer swear an oath to the higher power, but you would know all about that, wouldn't you? After all, you vowed to bring harmony to nature and Adeline. If anyone, you have earned the right to don such vestments. If you happen across a crystallized lifestream essence in your travels, be sure to bring it to Westcolina and Western Adeline. Deep within the innermost recesses of Ubuka, far beyond the Camere Drifts, lies a place unknown to any of us. You will surely find your answers there, in a land nature has been unable to reclaim. Should you venture there, remain ever on your guard. Okay. We have to go touch geomantic fumes. In Rakaznar. Ooh. Yeah, fuck it. I don't feel like orchestrating my proper geomancer lock style at the moment. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah, maybe I will actually make my proper geomancer stuff. It's not that hard. I'm just kinda irritable. So this is N7. We need a spot that's at L8. Okay, so it's gonna be like down near the roots, I think. Since those are already 12%, they'll probably go up to 18% if we reforge them. That would be pretty nice. Hydrants, geomantic fumes. Yep, this is what we want. That's the lady that taught us how to break through stuff in Rakaznar. Now, just how is it that the pretend doesn't work? Oh, you must be a geomancer, am I right? Then you wouldn't go anywhere without your trusty Luopan. Maybe it's pronounced Luopan? Like it's all one, like, instead of being two syllables, discrete syllables, there's like a, maybe it's like Luopan? I don't know. Wonderful. Did you know that the techniques used in making it have been passed down through the ages? But I suppose you aren't interested in a scholarly lesson. I could use a bit of your geomantic energies if you could spare the time. If you are capable of feeling Lystrum, then you must be able to channel the powers latent in this tree. Beyond doubt. Good to hear. Let me explain my hypothesis. The roots of this tree are protected, or perhaps a better phrase would be sealed in by the magic enshrouding Rakaznar. What I require is that you lay your Luopan by its side and invoke a geocolor ritual. Once that is done, I will invoke a cure spell in the hopes that the roots will absorb the healing energy, thus weakening the seal. Finally, you will unleash the power of your Luopan to shatter the bonds. This should enable us to get to the underbelly of this mystery. How does the saying go? Let the cat out of the bag? Sorry for the long-winded explanation. Are you ready? Okay. Chains of light and links of darkness, entwine thyself and unleash thy power. Okay, so she used Tabula Rasa and cast Cure 4. Come on, come on. It worked! Would you look at that? This tree must be... Hidden energies flow forth from the mysterious tree. And coalesce into a crystallized bauble on calm wind's hands. This is superb. I must make detailed records of what has transpired here. Thank you, Pioneer. Records. I can say words. Words are hard, though. I don't know. So we've got the crystallized life stream essence. So now we can take this to Weskalina, I guess. Who's apparently going to know how to make it into stuff for us. And I don't know which part of the Bagel set we actually care about. So let's go look. The head has Drain and Spear Potency. The tunic has Geomancy skill. That's probably slightly important. Let's see. Refresh on the gloves would be nice. Indicolor spell duration on the pants. That's actually where it's at, probably. And enfeebling magic skill and 2 regen for our Luopan on feet. So we're definitely gonna just make the pants. How about that? My boots get buggy. Turn around, fuck a clown, go to town, a boot, scoot, and buggy. So we need griffin leather, ether cloth, and a queso cloth again. Okay. Yeah, this queso cloth is really in all this geomancer stuff. Guess it's a solid revenue enhancer for cloth crafters. Unable to buy. Come on now. I ain't got time for your bullshit. Give me the damn queso cloth. There we go. And now we just need griffin leather. Yeah, griffin leather must be used in a lot of stuff. There's a lot of it. Either that or someone's using it to skill their crafting, their leather craft. I need to get back to crafting. Apparently crafting is like super impactful on mastery rank, and we should probably at least raise all of our crafts to 70 to have as subcrafts. Although not a lot of subcrafts actually go into cooking, which is part of the reason I leveled cooking in the first place. But, yeah. All time to take me, wife, and is in the sweet old pumpkin calm wind. Wiskelina's eyes begin to twinkle. Ah, I'll be a Leafkin's uncle. The day is upon us. Icky done come here and show me that old work from the library. I can make her for you right as rain. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. The pants. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You'll have me sewing your undergarments. I'm tickling my funny bone. Okay, just take this and make my pants. Uh-huh. By the goddess, yes. Work on your new equipment will begin immediately. Okay, and now we've got a game day wait, and we've got a zone. So it's pretty close actually, so we're going to zone, and then we're going to switch to Rune Fencer, grab the Empyrean body, and start that set, because that's a bunch of game day waits. And then we'll switch back to Geomancer and see if we can't do the next part of Geomancy stuff. That involves the weird fight. I want to go look at what the fight involves. Heavily luck-based fight when you hit a weakness. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, we didn't use our Icarus wing on the other fight, so we might just be able to... Oh, my wife is calling. God damn it. I am going to ignore her. We are so close. Of course, I could just... Well, no. I'm going to ignore. She'll probably start calling again in a minute. The game day change can't happen any faster. This is gonna be annoying. What I might do is I might just go quiet for the last little bit here, and because you don't need to hear my voice to see the content. That's the way I can not be in trouble with my wife, and then also record the ending bit here. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to turn the mic off, give her a call back. Okay, so just keep watching, and we won't do as much as I thought in this video, we'll leave the geomancy stuff for next time, but we will go ahead and pick up our Rune Fencer stuff. So I'm gonna go silent now. Just keep watching, and stay safe and have a great day when the video ends. Okay.